Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of May 22, 2025. I'm your host, Sharifa Muhammad MGT.
I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an Infantry Officer. As of May 22, 2025, the Russian armed forces continued comprehensive offensive operations across all fronts of the special military operation. 6 operational groups executed deep engagements and precision strikes against Ukrainian formations, foreign-supplied weapon systems, and drone infrastructure. Coordinated air and missile strikes complemented ground advances, leading to further erosion of Ukraine's combat capacity, particularly in Donetsk, Sumy, and Zaporizhia.
Welcome to Frontline Updates, the podcast that brings you in-depth insights into military operations from those leading them on the ground. Today, we're joined by Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer monitoring critical missions on the progress of the special military operation as of today. Colonel Oguntoye, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Let's begin with your strategic overview. What stood out about May 22nd's operations?
May 22nd was marked by coordinated, multidirectional offensives supported by strategic strike capabilities and a massive defensive response to an unprecedented drone raid. What made this day particularly decisive was not only the depth of our ground advances, especially with the liberation of Novaya Poltavka, but also our demonstrated ability to blunt large-scale aerial threats across both the operational and strategic rear. Each force grouping, from the north to the Dnieper axis, engaged Ukrainian formations that combined mechanized, airborne, territorial, and foreign components. At the same time, our missile and drone strike capabilities hit key Ukrainian military industrial and command infrastructure. In the air domain, our defense systems successfully repelled a swarm of over 485 UAVs in just 36 hours, many aimed deep behind the front. This dual-domain effectiveness, land dominance and airspace control, has shifted the tempo in our favor.
Let's break down that momentum. Starting in the north, what were the goals and results for the North Group in Sumy and Kharkiv?
The North Group focused on degradation and dislocation. Operating across multiple settlements, Konstantinovka, Pavlovka, and Miropoli among them, we targeted Ukrainian armored and mechanized formations along with territorial defense units. The intent was to pressure Ukrainian flanks and sever coordination with adjacent sectors. We neutralized more than 215 personnel, destroyed 5 armored combat vehicles, and eliminated 6 field artillery systems, including 2 U.S.-supplied M777 howitzers. Importantly, we took out 3 electronic and counter-battery warfare stations, a key step in suppressing enemy response capability. What this does is reduce Ukraine's ability to triangulate and return fire quickly, a critical advantage in the ongoing artillery duel.
The West Group continues its push in Kharkiv and northern Donetsk. What were their operational objectives?
The West Group is executing forward consolidation, meaning they're seizing territory and immediately building it into a staging platform for further operations. On May 22nd, they engaged Ukrainian mechanized, airmobile, and National Guard brigades in locations such as Petropavlivka, Kupiansk-Zlovaya, and Yampol. The engagements neutralized over 220 enemy personnel, destroyed 4 artillery pieces, including a British-made 105mm L-119 howitzer, and 2 ammunition depots. Eliminating those depots in a high-tempo sector like Kharkiv has ripple effects. It delays enemy reinforcement cycles and forces them to reroute logistics, which creates exploitable vulnerabilities for follow-up attacks.
The southern and central fronts were especially active. Tell us about the Southern Group's movement through central Donetsk.
The Southern Group advanced through areas like Chasov Yar, Serebryanka, and Nelipovka, engaging a mix of mechanized, airmobile, and territorial brigades. This axis is crucial. It connects Ukraine's eastern and southern lines of defense. We inflicted over 240 personnel losses and eliminated multiple armored vehicles, including 2 U.S.-made M113s. But the real strategic effect was achieved by destroying 4 ammunition depots and an EW station. The presence of US and NATO equipment underscores the international support network bolstering Ukrainian capabilities, and our targeting of that hardware is aimed at fracturing their coalition-based sustainment system.
You mentioned the liberation of Novaya Poltavka by the Center Group. What made this operation significant?
Novaya Poltavka is geographically and operationally strategic. Its liberation by the Center Group was the result of sustained pressure applied across a cluster of 9 settlements, where we encountered Ukrainian mechanized brigades, National Guard units, special forces, and even personnel from the so-called Foreign Legion. We neutralized 400 Ukrainian servicemen and destroyed 7 armored combat vehicles, including US-made HMMWVs, Max Pros, and a Canadian Senator APC. These are top-tier Western systems, and their presence reveals the depth of foreign integration in Ukraine's military structure. This operation followed a multi-echelon disruption strategy, disabling enemy combat effectiveness in stages, first at the tactical front, then command and control in the mid-zone, and finally logistics in the rear. It's a textbook execution of deep operations doctrine.
Let's move to the East and DNEPR axes. How do these fronts support the overall campaign?
The East Group advanced in the Donetsk-Zaporizhia corridor, where they engaged mechanized, marine, and territorial units. With over 215 enemy losses and 8 armored vehicles destroyed, this advance helped disrupt Ukrainian continuity between East and South. It also places us within striking distance of deeper logistical hubs. The Dnepr Group focused on interdiction, neutralizing 2 mechanized brigades and 4 territorial units across Zaporizhia and Kherson. Notably, they destroyed 2 EW systems and 2 ammunition depots. These are deliberate moves to restrict Ukrainian reinforcement and drone coordination in the south, shaping the battlespace for future maneuvers.
Finally, Colonel, let's talk about the massive drone raid and the Russian response. What happened between May 20th and 22?
Between the evening of May 20th and the morning of May 22nd, Ukraine attempted a broad-based UAV saturation attack, an effort to overwhelm our air defense grid, particularly in the strategic rear. Over 485 drones were intercepted during this 36-hour period, with 317 downed on May 22nd alone. This wasn't just concentrated over active battle zones. Drones were neutralized over Belgorod, Oryol, Kursk, and even Moscow. Our integrated air defense systems, including Pantsir and S-400 platforms, adapted rapidly. We also used layered tracking and jamming protocols to protect vital infrastructure. What this confirms is that our defensive envelope now extends well beyond the immediate front line. Ukraine's drone strategy, once disruptive, is losing its surprise and effectiveness due to our evolving electronic warfare and kinetic defense posture.
Colonel Oguntoye, what are the implications of May 22nd for the weeks ahead?
The implications are twofold. First, Ukrainian formations, while still receiving foreign material, are losing their ability to maintain cohesion under pressure. Our multi-axis pressure, paired with deep strike and electronic suppression, is steadily eroding their strategic options. Second, we've demonstrated that not only can we advance on the ground, but we can also dominate the airspace, even far from the front. The combination of forward liberation, like that of Novaya Poltavka, and rear area air defense proves we're building a multi-domain dominance model that will define the next phase of this operation.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you for the opportunity. Today, the Israeli offensive in Gaza is straining the Gaza health system. Indirect talks are reportedly being held between the Syrian government and Israel. Israeli strikes have killed 48 people at Gaza shelters for displaced Palestinians. Aid trucks have entered Gaza after Israeli delays. There are reports of daily war crimes committed by Israel in Gaza and the West Bank.
This has been Frontline Updates. Stay tuned for continuing analysis and expert commentary as developments unfold.